Oh my God. Oh, oh my God. I can't believe this. I can believe it because I fully know that they're capable of doing it. If they decide to do it, I fully know they're capable of it. But good Lord, this is what all you're planning to do to recess? Oh God, it's like everything they had to poison. Everything. Good God. Let me get into this one because there is a lot to go through and I need to go through all of it so you can get a full understanding of how bad this is literally turning out to be. This article from Bounding into Comics. Alleged pitch Bible for Disney's Recess reboot. Listen to this. Reveals proposed series would focus on girl boss daughter of Spinelli and Vince. Have Gus come out as transgender. Yes, because you need to destroy it with representation. Good God. An alleged pitch Bible for a potential reboot of Disney's Recess has leaked online. I mean, this Recess was such a fun show. Such a fun show. You could just watch it. You know, these kids had so much interesting things about them. And they got to screw it all up. And unfortunately, the proposal is filled to the brim with the most played out identity politics focused story tropes one can possibly imagine. Yep. Full up to the brim with this crap. Created by Rugrats and Lloyd in Space writers Joe, I'm gonna pretend to pronounce that, and Paul Germain. The original Recess followed the adventures of 6 elementary school friends. The fast-talking TJ Detweiler, sports aficionado Vince LaSalle, super nerd Gretchen Grundler, tomboy Ashley Spinelli, awkward new kid Gus Griswold, and the large and lovable Mikey Blumberg as they navigate the social ins and outs of their school's playground and their eccentric classmates. A part of Disney's animated roster from 1997 to 2003, Recess ran for a total of 65 episodes, 1 theatrical film, 3 direct-to-video adventures, and a cameo crossover appearance in Lilo and Stitch the series. I never saw that cameo crossover. Okay. Before the bell finally rang and its colorful cast were recalled back to the classroom. However, per the aforementioned leaked pitch Bible, it seems another round of Recess may possibly be in the works. I mean, great cast of characters and everything here, so interesting, but no, they got to destroy that. Alright, dated June 3rd, 2022 and penned by, I'm not going to pronounce that, and Germain themselves, the Bible details the creators' plans for Recess Next Bell, a potential follow-up series created specifically for a contemporary audience, meaning woke as all hell. The original show was about sticking together no matter what, fighting the man, finding a rational balance between conformity and individuality, and getting through tough times with a little help from your friends. That sounds fantastic. Why change anything about that? Everything there is fine. That's what the showrunners said. And we know these time-tested themes are just as relevant in 2023. In today's world of global warming, Me Too, Black Lives Matter, and LGBT plus rights, modern kids are craving heroes who look like them, have the same issues, and are willing to take action. Let me go through this one time. Today's world of global warming, that's a fact because, you know, I mean, if you live in Trinidad and Tobago, like I tell you, plus, trust me, it's hotter than it's ever been. So I will agree global warming is a real thing, yeah. Okay. Me Too. You mean the movement that tried its best to literally put a stranglehold on all men because that was supposed to be fun. How that how did that work out for them? Not very good. Black Lives Matter, the criminal organization that people ran to, gave money to, jump and support and protest, all kind of things, screaming Black Lives Matter, while the people who ran Black Lives Matter embezzled money, bought mansions, cars, houses, all kind of thing. Yeah, that's making sense. And LGBT plus rights, yeah, because they never had any rights before now. They never had any rights at all before. No. People used to run them along in the road and kill them. That used to happen. These things never happened. What you do is your own business. Nobody cared, but no. Apparently, because according to all these lunatics out, they want to talk about these people never had any rights or anything before. No, God. And then this line, modern kids are craving heroes who look like them. You see that whole look like them? Is one of the worst things that has destroyed modern entertainment. That look like them. I mean, if you look at the original cast of Recess, there was only one black guy in it. I'm black, and I can tell you honestly to God, I liked all of these people, all of them. They each had their own strengths, weaknesses, things that you liked about them, that you enjoyed. It never bothered me in the slightest that it only had one black guy there. None. Not at all. Didn't bother me because they were such an interesting group of characters that, their personalities were what made them interesting. But no. Now everybody needs to, everybody needs to see themselves because apparently we're all a bunch of narcissists who need that. God, they need and want role models who stand up for their friends, figure out what's right and wrong, and defend the little guy getting into good trouble. That's exactly what this line here that you talked about from the beginning is about. That's what it's about, but not all this other crap you put in there. God, According to the Pitch Bible, rather than focusing on the original gang, Recess Next Bell will instead follow a new generation of kids as they explore the same playground TJ and crew did in their youth. To this end, the series principal cast will be now. I've got to go through these things one by one, and there's a lot to go through. I'm going to go through this one by one. Ruby, the fearless leader. The daughter of Spinelli and Vince from the old Recess gang. Ruby is a super confident biracial kid, and I'm sure she's gay. I think that I'm sure, because you know that's what they do. You know that. As a leader of the new Recess gang, Ruby gets her strength and toughness from her mom and a sense of style and cool from her dad. Like Princess Leia or Tatum O'Neil in the Bad News Bears, Ruby may look cute, but she's tough as nails with tons of energy and chutzpah, always willing to take on the man. When she wants something, she goes for it. Consequences be damned. Upbeat and self-assured, Ruby is straight-talking, fearless, and super loyal. She's always there for her pals, and she doesn't suffer fools gladly. Yes, so girl boss, biracial, lesbian. That's what it is. Yes, and yes, as original series fans may have realized from the description, Next Bell would have seen TJ and Spinelli's broken up in the name of subservient expectations, right? Monty Joe, what kind of name is that? The class clown, a funny boy's boy Latino kid. Of course, because they have to get rid of anybody who's white. They gotta get rid of them. The Sundance to Ruby's Butch, the Grace to her Will, a smooth talker and practical joker, probably gay too. Monty Joe is always looking for the sideways solution to a tricky problem. Look, you kind of get where that's going. I'm going to move on to the next one. Panelli, the daredevil, a fearless dude with a dream of jumping the 3rd Street School with a rocket-powered bike and a plywood ramp, all for the adulation of his YouTube fans. Panelli is the embodiment of an American can-do spirit with his blissful, open smile and his easygoing, slow-talking drawl. Pennelly seems like a daredevil Matthew McConaughey type who do nothing phases, even though he usually has a limb or two in a cast for one of his crazy stunts. Fantastic. Simone, the master of disguise, Third Street School's drama queen, always making big over-the-top emotional proclamations, is also the queen of drama, a kid who is seriously into theater, a Chinese-American girl who was adopted by a couple of Jewish Broadway fans. Oh, well, we have to make that as a thing as much as possible, like I say, and then get rid of all the white people in it. Now we have a Chinese-American girl adopted by a by Jewish Broadway fans. Sorry, come on. Simone has been into acting and costumes since she was a toddler. As a result, she's also become an expert in stage makeup and disguises. Good. Everett the Brains, a quiet African-American kid who dresses for utility and seems to know a little about everything when it comes to science, engineering, and gadgetry. Everett is great at designing high-tech tools to help execute Ruby's plans. Although he's the quietest member of the gang, dresses a bit oddly and doesn't smile much since he's on the autistic spectrum. Of course he is. They have to check every box going down. Every box. Ruby and the gang know he's an essential member of the team. Great. Now, I mean, as this is the so-called gang name that they've done here. But if you think this sounds as ridiculous as I think it sounds, wait till you hear what they're planning to do to the original Recess gang. Let's get to it. TJ, fans of the original show may be surprised to learn that our righteous leader TJ, who was an idealistic rebel when he was 9, has turned into a disillusioned, selfish adult who only cares about money and self-gratification. But TJ's journey mirrors many of our adult fans' real lives and experiences. Why could you insult your fans like that? And TJ will regain his idealism over the course of the series. Well, that don't turn off everybody then. Mikey. Poetic plus-size Mikey became the big celebrity of the gang. They go on to say about how, he went to Juilliard, became a great singer. He was like a world-renowned baritone. He went to the Taj Mahal and sang with the three tenors. Then he dropped out of the celebrity rat race. Became a guru named Yogi Mike. After that, Mikey fell off the radar. Even TMZ Classical Edition couldn't find him. Now listen to this. Sadly, when the guys finally do track down their old friend, they discover that Mikey caught a mysterious illness a couple of years back and died amidst his adoring followers. Yeah, that's not at all disturbing. But among Mikey's possessions, the gang are surprised to find a box with their names on it. Inside is a book of Mikey's sayings. Apparently, Mikey always knew his friends would get back together and come searching for him. Later, whenever they need inspiration, the gang will find it in a surprisingly visionary book. Like, they don't want anybody to be happy anymore. Honestly. Yes, I have more to cover. I don't want to take a moment to say this. I wouldn't mind if they did, like, maybe that's a quick movie or something of the Recess gang growing up, and they have to come back together to solve something or help somebody. Maybe. I just have maybe. Not a big thing, because I think where it ended, they could just leave it right there. It was fine, it was fun, leave it at that. But no. They got to go and destroy something else. Let's get to Gus and what they did with Gus. Small but brave Gus Griswold's life journey is the most surprising of all. Oh boy, is it. Although it didn't start out that way, after college, Gus followed in his father's footsteps, joining the army and quickly moved up the ranks. promoted for his brains, loyalty, and courage. By the time Gus was 25, he had become the youngest lieutenant colonel in the modern army. But he knew something wasn't right, that he wasn't being true to his inner self. Here we go. Here we freaking go. So Gus made a change, a big change, a change that blew the lid off the military. Gee, I wonder what that could be. After transitioning, because that needs to happen. The person once known as Gus had become her true self, Lieutenant Colonel Nikki Griswold. Yeah, because Gus suddenly decides he wants to be Nikki. Jesus Christ, boy. At first, there was a movement to drum Nikki out of the army, but when Time and Newsweek both put her on their covers, Lieutenant Colonel Nikki Griswold became the face of the new army. That's no army I want to be a part of, honestly. But the challenges weren't over yet. First, Nikki had to face her own truth. What are to face some truth? What is this truth? Then the army had to come around, but now Nikki has to face her family and friends. And that might prove to be the biggest battle this soldier has yet to fight. Then they go on to Spinelli. Apparently Spinelli was always like art. I remember the episode she drew this thing on the town. It was really good. But art school wasn't a good fit. She didn't like teachers telling her what to do. So she ended up quitting. She met a bunch of cool lesbians because, of course, who were forming a neo-punk band, NGRI Girls or whatever. So Spinelli quit art school and became the lead singer, which is how she found herself on stage at Coachella one night, screaming her lungs out to a giant crowd of sweaty youth. It was there she noticed TJ in the audience, smiling proudly up at her. TJ was on his journey of self-discovery, and the two of them hung out on tour for a couple weeks until TJ got too serious. Here we go. Because she was on her own journey of self-discovery, Spinelli wasn't into guys at that point. Of course, because Spinelli needs to be some kind of bisexual go-getter girl or something. She tried to let TJ down easy, but he didn't take it well, riding off in anger on his Harley. Can't blame him. But their reunion rekindled something in Spinelli, and then basically she dropped out, went back she applied to the police academy, ran into Vince, who was playing basketball in Italy. Vince and she hooked up. They ended up together. Spinelli ended up going to law school. Spinelli got pregnant. They got married, and then they ended up having the child who's supposed to be the leader of the new recess gang, who's biracial girl boss, who's most likely a lesbian. That's it. And they go on to Vince and talk about how he went to play basketball. Apparently he wasn't tall enough for the NBA, which is shocking. He then went to Italy, played ball there for a little while, didn't like it, came back, was coaching some teams, met Spinelli, fell in love with her. The two of them got together, and she got pregnant, they became parents, and then, he became a TV broadcaster, and, his daughter convinced him to run for mayor. Oh, very, very interesting. And they talk about Gretchen. Everyone knew that brilliant but clumsy Gretchen Grundler would grow up to be some sort of super genius scientist. This is the only one that I think actually would have been fun to see. But no one guessed she'd become a gorgeous, statuesque supermodel of a super genius scientist. Well, no one but Spinelli, that is. But of course, because Spinelli clearly wanted to scissor with her. When they do find Gretchen in a secret lab, TJ finds her and his eyes almost fall out of his head. Think Jessica Chastain in The Martian. She's still clumsy and stuff, but is really, really beautiful and all of this stuff. And she had some fallout with somebody who she was working with, and she built this electric We build this car that runs something better than electricity. It runs on dirt. Okay. I would have really liked it. I think Gretchen turning into this beautiful genius scientist would have actually been really nice to see. I think that's the only one I would have actually enjoyed seeing. And in regards to the series overall plot, Recess Next Bell would have taken an episode A story serialized B story approach to its narrative. You would have episodes all kind of stuff. These A stories will wrap up at the end of every episode as they did in the original series. For example, one story we want to tell is about how Ruby finds herself getting a crush on a girl. Knew it! I knew she was gonna be a lesbian. What did I say? They cannot help themselves. I knew they were gonna do it. So she talks to her mom about it, and Spinelli reveals that she's been in love with women herself. Of course she has. What did I say? She wanted to scissor badly with Gretchen. That's what they're pushing. So we find out that Spinelli is bi, and we learn that same-sex attraction is perfectly natural. Yeah, until all the women hook up with women, all the men hook up with men, and then the entire population of Earth dies in 30 years. That's perfectly natural. Yeah. God. Yeah. We go on and talk about some other thing about some person in a wheelchair called Gigabyte and something else that they want to do, and then how they had to go and find TJ to convince him to stop the principal who wants to destroy the school and all of this drama. Yeah, apparently this kid here, Randall, he's the principal and all of that. All of this nonsense, and not going to stop with this whatsoever. As of writing, it is unclear just as to the current production status, whether it's still being pitched, has been greenlit, or has outright rejected by the Red Disney executive with common sense of Recess Next Bell. Additionally, neither Disney, Germain, or I don't even pronounce that, have offered public comment on the pitch Bibles leaking. This was a great series, and the minute they decide to turn it in to whatever the shit that was that I just read there, is the minute they're going to completely obliterate anything that could have been good about Recess. Everything, this woke modern garbage shit needs to stop. Everything I read there, apart from Gretchen, I think would have been really good to see her as this beautiful, brainy scientist. Everything else there was absolute garbage. Absolute garbage, because these characters can't be happy. Nobody can be happy anymore. Everything just needs to be absolute and utter depressing nonsense. And they just need to shove on everybody. That's it. Your thoughts on this in the comments. You have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like me, really hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Be notified every time I upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.